Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. We are the Odds Couple. We come to you from SportsbookReview.com, SBROdds.com. This is the NBA Odds Couple show for Wednesday, December 21st. Mike Brenner, you're chugging along with some winners, some losers. Overall, your record overall in the year is excellent. Let's throw the record up. You had a great call on Golden State. You know, people might slam you for taking Golden State every time out, but listen, if they win 60% of those times,
I'm
you're
coming out
making
ahead.
a smart decision.
Yeah, they buried that team last night. A first quarter was a push Pistol Pete, but the half wasn't even a contest in the full game. I'm telling you, this team is firing it up.
We went head to head on the Lakers and Hornets game, and I came out on the good end of that one.
I'm buying you a beer. We're going to Octavo to do a Periscope here soon. I'll buy you a beer.
Then I'm going to bring the beer over to the bookie because I also had the unders in that one, which lost. But I had some good plays though on that.
Was perfect.
No, but I had the Toronto over. I had some winners yesterday, so I'm actually
you were on top of that Toronto.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want
to
to jinx myself, but my last 2 or 3 shows, my record is like 8-3 or something like that, or 9-3. Yeah.
See,
so,
Pistol Pete, he's humble and he's absolutely on fire.
We'll see. All right, so we got 8 games.
You know what? And I don't congratulate you enough because you always throw props my way. It's just you know what? I got to pay more attention to that because you do. You're clicking, buddy, and you're my partner.
Shouldn't congratulate me. I'm at 47%.
Right, well, then God darn it, get out of the abyss. Let's go.
Congrats, please. When I'm out of the abyss, I will let you know, and
I
then
know
I will
what happened last year.
Congratulations.
Pete climbed out of there like a champ.
All right, so we got 8 games tonight. There were only 2 games on the overnights, and all of them are up now, so we're shooting this a little bit later in the day, but we got 8 games
Big Balls
right
play
now.
of the day yesterday. I did not pull the trigger, and I'm pissed off at myself. Cleveland, I just knew they were going to get that frickin' win. I even said it to you off camera. I knew it.
But it was in overtime.
So what? But they owned them the whole time. They owned them. Halftime, they were up by 8. Not owned them, but you know what? Okay.
All right. Well, we got 8 games, and I guess we can just start off with that one.
They're playing again?
They're having the second on a back-to-back. This one's in Cleveland. The line is now 6 or 5.5. I mean, obviously, these 2 teams play each other close.
Tight.
I know that. Is Kevin Love playing tonight? He is. Is he?
Yes.
He is, right?
I just got an update.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that gives
won't be
Cleveland
disclosed
a big
until
advantage.
later, but Love is playing.
So maybe that'll affect the total. I was definitely leaning towards the under. It maybe if Love is playing, that pushes it up a little bit. I don't know, but I was leaning under. I bet the under at 209. Now it's down to 208. 208.5 at the Greek and Intertops. I don't know. What do you think?
Greek, that Greek freak brought it again last night. 25 points, 16 rebounds, 4 blocks. That kid is the real deal. LeBron James said it. He said, this kid is the real deal.
Yeah.
But LeBron James also said last night, and I listen when he speaks, he said this was a very, very big win for our team. We needed it without Kevin Love in the lineup. We needed to show them because they got pounded 118 to 101 several weeks back. All right, I'm only going one way on this thing, and I'm going the first half. Pistol
All right,
Pete.
you like Cleveland?
Yep.
You think it's going to be a high-scoring game or a low-scoring? See, I'm thinking that it's going to be a modest-scoring game.
I think it's going to be a little bit slower because they've got to be tired. They wore each other out last night.
And they're good.
Overtime. Come on, you got it.
Yeah. All right, so I'll give the first half over and the full game over. The first half over is actually let's see, 106.
We got a viewer's in trouble with his girlfriend Dennis because he keeps saying pull the trigger around the house. I love that.
That is nice. Yeah, no, it's a great saying. All right, so I'm going to take the first half under 106 minus 104. That's a Pinnacle line.
That's even better. I think the first half is where you're going to be a little tired.
Yeah, and I'm going to take the second. I'm going to take the full game under. I'm
goes.
going to take the Greek and Intertops line 208.5 minus 110.
Okay.
All right.
I like it, Pistol Pete. 8-3 last 11. You're rolling. I'm going to go.
No,
Cavs.
actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the Pinnacle under 208 minus 101 because I think if it goes under, it'll go way under. So I'll take under 208
That's
minus 101.
smart.
Yeah,
there it is. Line shopping,
you see?
baby.
You see? All right. Okay.
And that's
I
all
wasn't
in
that
your
smart.
head.
All right,
I'm pulling
Mike
the trigger
what do you
one
like?
way on that. I like the first half. I think Cleveland, if they just got to know they got to establish the pace early again.
Okay.
Because they got that win last night, LeBron will not let these guys overlook this team, and that team's going to come in a little bit soft. But guess what? That team has lost now.
Yeah.
I think 6 out of 7 or 6 out of 8 games or something straight
Milwaukee?
up. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
they're struggling. I know ATS is more important, but it starts getting in your head, Pete. You start traveling on the road. That's a young team.
Sure.
Young team.
I mean,
like
look, they're playing Cleveland
great.
tight, but okay. So
But
you're
Jason
going to take
Kidd's
the first
concerned
half.
because when you got youth, all right, you start losing, and they're not worried about ATS. They don't give a shit if they're cashing anybody's tickets. Trust me.
All right, so
unless
you want
the
the
one
first
kid's
half?
mom's still gambling. Yeah, first
Minus
half.
3, minus 114.
I love it, Pistol Pete. I love it. You going to jump in?
No, definitely not.
He's
I'm definitely not going to.
But all right. It's all right.
There is one game that sort of has a Mike Brenner special written all over it.
I know who you're gonna say.
I don't know. Maybe not. Houston lost to San Antonio last night. Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, Houston lost San Antonio last night. They're
Great
a little
game.
bit pissed. Great
Of course
game.
they are.
Now they're coming back against a very vulnerable team, Phoenix. I think probably Houston's a good bet early, first half and maybe first quarter. What do you think, Mike
I
Brenner?
think first half's it, and James Harden said, we are definitely not pleased with how we ended this game because they were in control of that game. And he said, and albeit I know it's San San Antonio, because he has a lot of respect for Popovich. He said, though, we gave that game to them at the end. Yeah, he's not happy. They got to start out heavy. What's the best shop line for that first half?
All right, for the first half, I will go on this with you as well,
Yes,
and
all
we'll
right.
take Houston -3, -112. That's a Pinnacle line. And what do you think about the first quarter? Do you think that's too chancy?
No, I don't. I think they're absolutely going to pound it first quarter. That's what they do anyway, and you're probably going to get that at about
Yeah,
one
like
and a half.
1.5
So
or
I'm
2.
jumping,
All right,
now
I'll
I'm
take
jumping
the
in
first
with
quarter.
you.
I'll take
Yeah.
the first quarter. All right,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
going to
both on that
definitely
one.
going to take the Pinnacle line for that one.
Yeah, well, you know
Pinnacle
what?
opener
Pete, when you get athletes that get pissed off, and James Harden, they don't just take it for the quarter and a half. Give me the full game,
Are
baby.
you sure? Okay.
Absolutely, I'm sure.
All right, it's a little high up there. It's
all right.
6.5
That's
minus
not- they're gonna bury this
101.
team
Oh
by
no,
10 or
sorry,
more.
6.5 minus 106.
They're going to bury him.
Okay, 6.5 minus 106. That's a Pinnacle line.
I love it. And what are we doing on the quarter? Pinnacle or?
Yeah, well, I'm doing Pinnacle. What
I
do you
am
wanna
too.
do?
I'm going
All
your
right.
way.
Okay, now let's see. What else do you like here, Mike Brenner? Here, well, let me bring up an interesting one. Minnesota and Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Minnesota's a talented team.
They are.
Atlanta, have they turned a corner? I don't think
No,
so,
they,
really.
They keep bouncing
Yeah,
back and
yeah,
forth, bouncing
yeah.
back and forth. But this is that situation where I think Budenheiser says, no way, there's no excuse for us to, we keep taking one step forward and going two back. That's going to stop tonight because the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're young. Thibodeau loves the way they play, but right now they're just not so disciplined, especially on the road. Atlanta's a fun place to be in December, trust me. All right, this is going to be a win. I think the
think
Hawks
so?
get it. I'm only going on the full game.
I mean, Atlanta, they've covered 3 out of the last 5, but all 3 of those were on the road. They've actually lost their last
I
6
know.
games at home. ATS.
I know
They've really
that, and
struggled.
I'm very aware of that. And I think this is the game where he says we got to put it together. I'm going to go full
think
game.
so?
What's that best shot, Pistol Pete
Well,
line?
the best line right now would be 4.5
Yes.
minus
I love
103.
it. I'm taking it full game minus 4.5 Atlanta.
See, I was thinking that Minnesota might give them, and I was also
Yeah,
leaning
and you
over.
got a good read on Minnesota, Pete.
I was also leaning over, and I was also, but then like the first half over is 111.5 or 112. I don't understand that. So I think I might take a shot with the Minnesota team total over 103 minus 128. What do you think about that? You think Atlanta's going to clamp down on D?
I do, because you know what? And again, you know I love this stuff, and I don't like the guy.
Yeah.
I don't like the guy, but he, a lot of athletes don't read the media, all right, and rightfully so. Well, Dwight Howard, he read what was said about now all of a sudden is he a cancer in Atlanta? I think that kid now, he's reached to the deepest of well. He just doesn't have it, but he's got everything he's got to put into this season. He's at home in Atlanta. He knows there's no other chance. If he doesn't make it here, no other team's going to take a chance on this guy. I think he's going to stand out tonight, bro. And I hate to say it because he's let me down a lot. But Pete, man, that's that momentum, that ego, and everything else. You got a kid that's getting pounded in his head from the media. That wears on you
All
tonight.
right. Well, you know
young
what?
kids coming in,
Yeah.
young talent, people saying, hey, maybe you should have picked him instead of him.
I might take a loss on it, but I will take the Minnesota team total over. It's 103 minus 128 at Pinnacle. That's a Pinnacle line right now, so I'll take that one.
Okay.
Team total over. I mean,
I like that way. That's a good way to look at it.
all right. But you're taking Atlanta on the full game minus 4.5.
I'm going on the full game, but what's the full game total, though?
Yeah, the full game total, it opened at 211. Now it's up to 213 or
See, I think
213
that
and a
can
half.
sit under that. I think
so?
that sits under. Yeah, I might look at that. I'm not. Yeah, 230. That's a lot, Pete.
It is, but I was thinking about. All right. Well, I'll take the Minnesota team
play
total.
last night?
No,
They're rested. They're rested. Hey, what was that team total on Houston? I forgot to ask you about that.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. The team
Houston.
total.
Yeah, we already did the
I
game.
was thinking about that one.
I know
Houston
you
team
were.
total would be 116 and a half
I'm
minus
staying off that
107.
tonight.
Yeah,
They're tired.
And
Double
Houston
overtime.
has also
I mean-
been kind of going lower scoring recently. They've actually gone under in 5 out of the last 7, which is a little bit surprising.
Yeah,
so
that is. Okay.
All right, let's see. What else do we have here?
I've got one other game
Okay,
that I'm
let's
going
hear
to
it,
play,
let's hear
and
it,
I
let's
like
hear
the
it.
full game. Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I just think, when Damian Lillard made that statement, we got to learn how to play basketball for 4 quarters. All right, they're starting to step it up a little bit. Terry Stotts likes what he's seeing as far as practice the last few days. I like it. I think you're going to get the full game victory.
All right, so you want the full game?
Yep.
All right, we can give you, it's actually headed down. We can give you minus 5.5 plus 102 at Pinnacle.
Okay, I'm going to take the 5.5, Pistol Pete. If
Plus
it's headed down,
102.
it doesn't bother me. I'm taking it.
That's when I was thinking. And Portland's been a huge overtrender on
They're
the
at
year,
home,
but I was
right?
thinking, yeah,
Yes.
I was thinking maybe a shot with the under because Portland, of course, they lost at Sacramento, high scoring game yesterday, and Dallas
lost that game.
Yeah, they lost. So I was thinking maybe a shot with the under.
But you saw how that. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins. That shit just doesn't happen often.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
grabbed that thing and ran with it. I think they're pissed off, if more than anything. That's my
so
opinion.
they might put on a big offensive.
They might.
show. Yeah.
Offense might explode, and they're young kids. Their legs
Yeah.
don't tire,
Yeah.
Pistol Pete. They're not like me, you, and Dennis. Hell, Dennis, he got on that floor. He'd pass out after 3 laps.
The other thing
I'm
that's
kidding,
interesting
D.
to me is The other thing that's interesting to me is Sacramento at Utah. Now, I'm thinking about the under here. These, Sacramento, their last 2 road games went under this number, and the last time they played at Utah, the game went to 188. They got blown out.
Wow.
They
got blown out by Utah. Utah beat them down.
Utah beat them. Now,
they're tired.
Utah just got a beat down yesterday by the Spurs, right? It was by the Spurs. Who
No,
beat
that
them?
was
No, it was Utah got beat
Golden
by
State. What do you mean? How
right,
do you
Golden
remember?
State. I'm sorry.
And
right,
they got
Golden
pounded.
State. Yeah, they got pounded. So Utah's going to come back, and I'm thinking that this game might.
Can I share something with you?
Yeah.
Utah's fresh because they pulled everybody.
Right.
They didn't. They knew in the third quarter it was over. I'm not going to exaggerate.
Right, but that might mean they'll be able to clamp on D then.
Yeah, they might, but Hayward's going to be a shooting fool because he had an
You
off
think
night.
so?
When he has an off, no, he was 1 for 5 in the first half, and that's not like him. I'm telling you that you talk about a pissed off team.
Yeah.
And they're going up against a team that's tired. DeMarcus Cousins tired. Pistol Pete.
So you think that? But I mean, when Utah plays well, they go low scoring, right? Even when they're shooting.
No, you're right because Gobert is going to. He's going to knock. I'm not Gobert. Yeah, it is Gobert.
Yeah.
He's knocking down shots left and right, blocking one. Now you got me thinking about that, Pete. Come on.
All right. Well, maybe I'm stretching here, reaching a little bit. Let's see.
Stretch low shack.
Are there any of the other games that you find interesting? Or is
Well,
that
they're
about
all
it?
interesting,
Yeah.
Pete, each and every day, except for when, But I am putting together a teaser that's going to cash
Okay.
for me today.
All right.
And I've
How
lost
many
2 out of
teams?
my last 3 teasers.
How many
I don't
teams is
like
this?
that? It's a 3-teamer, 6-point bet online teaser.
Okay.
All
Plus
right.
120, 3 teams, 6
You
points.
got
All right.
it.
Okay.
Hit me up. Houston.
Okay, Houston. That'll put you at -0.5.
Love it. Portland.
Okay, that'll put you at +0.5.
Love it. And Utah.
And Utah, that'll put you at -1.
Man, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Everything about that. Something tells me Pistol Pete wants to jump in on the teaser mobile.
I'm not going to jump on it, but
All right.
All right. Why don't you just quickly review your plays
Sure.
so that'll buy me about 12 seconds.
Absolutely.
here,
I'll
and I
let
can
you
think
buy.
about
You don't
what I
even have
wanna
to
do.
buy those 12 seconds.
Let's
I'll
see.
give them to you.
All right, see.
Cavaliers first half -3. Hawks full game -4.5. Portland Trailblazers a little bit pissed off. Full game -5.5. Houston Rockets on the first quarter. With the Pinnacle first half -3, full game -6.5, thanks to Pistol Pete and his line shopping. And topping it off, Brenner's going to come out on top tonight, guys. I feel it. This is a teaser that I love. Houston -0.5, Portland +0.5, and Utah Jazz -1. Let's get it done. There's your 12 seconds. You didn't even have to pay for it.
All right, you know what? I will take, maybe I'll lose both, maybe I'll split them, but I will take both the Sacramento-Utah under full game, 194, and I will also take the Dallas-Portland full game under 210.
Hey, don't doubt yourself. You're 8-3 last 11. You're cooking up. You're cooking up a storm, baby.
I'm just worried because Portland is such a strong overtrender, and they can really explode, but I'm just
I think that game took a lot out of them last night.
Yeah.
They may slow down and play a more defensive unit.
And just try to beat Dallas with some defense.
You know what? I watched an interview yesterday with Tyronn Lue, and he was right. He said, we got to slow this team down since Love's out. We're going to do transition defense. And his game plan came out perfectly, even though they went to
now
overtime.
You're back to Cleveland here.
Of course. I just love thinking about it. When I talk with you about sports, all kinds of stuff bounces around. I love it.
All right, okay.
That's what makes the magic, Pistol Pete.
Yes. All right. All right. So that just about does it. I got a bunch of picks. You got a bunch of picks, Mike Brenner.
Yeah.
And we'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday card.
I can't wait, Pistol.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.